The final frantic 48 hours. Bush slightly ahead. Gore still vulnerable to the Nader effect. Which campaign will do the best job of mobilizing supporters?
With the race incredibly close, your vote is critical.
Health Watch. Good exposure to a commonly used pesticide caused Parkinson's disease. And scams in cyberspace. Bargain hunters at auction sites, beware.
Buying off the internet is a gamble.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News, reported by John Siegenthaler.
Good evening, everyone. We are now in the final stretch of this race for president, what could well be the closest contest in 40 years. Al Gore and George W. Bush are on the move, stopping in states where they hope it will make a difference. Right now, the latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll shows Bush leading Gore 47 to 44%, Ralph Nader with 3%, and Pat Buchanan 2%. On the electoral map, no change. Bush still leads Gore there, too. But those 14 battleground states and their 154 electoral votes are still up for grabs and hold the key to victory. The candidate schedules reflected that today. We begin our coverage with NBC's Campbell Brown with the Bush campaign in Orlando. Good evening, Campbell.
Good evening, John. Well, it's been a full day in Florida with the final rally of the day here in Orlando. The winning Florida is, of course, key to the Bush campaign strategy, and it all depends on voter turnout. Bush's mission here today, firing up the Republican base. On his way to church in Jacksonville, Florida, Governor Bush appears confident and calm.
It's a great way to start off a stretch run. No politics.
In what his aides say is a must-win state holding 25 electoral votes, Bush met with the Reverend Billy Graham, the man he credits with helping him to stop drinking 14 years ago. Graham, who doesn't endorse candidates, still made it clear who had gotten his vote.
I believe in the integrity of this man.
On the stump today, Bush rallied the crowds with Florida's governor, his brother Jeb. The younger Bush has led a huge get-out-the-vote effort here, and advisors believe Florida is the state that will propel them to victory.
2 days, folks, 2 days.
In West Palm Beach, Bush appealed to seniors, a key constituency in Florida, accusing Vice President Gore of distorting Bush's position on Social Security.
They can try to scare. They can make all those ugly phone calls and fake TV ads. But we have a chance on November 7th to purge this country of the old-style politics.
And later in Miami, Bush reached out to Cuban Americans.
We will keep the pressure on Fidel Castro until the people are free.
There was evidence today that his advisors were right when they said the revelation last Thursday that Bush was arrested for drunk driving 24 years ago would have no impact on the election. In an NBC poll out today, 81% of those questioned said it was not a factor at all. When asked if Bush should have revealed the arrest earlier, 47% said yes. Now into the final hours, the campaign is trying to cover as much ground as possible. Bush's running mate, Dick Cheney, was in California today, making one last pitch for that state's 54 electoral votes. Tomorrow, Bush begins in Gore's home state of Tennessee. Then on to Green Bay, Wisconsin, Davenport, Iowa, Bentonville, Arkansas, and ending the night with a welcome home rally back in Austin, Texas. Now tonight, Bush advisors say they have never felt more confident about the final outcome. The reason? They believe their supporters have more intensity and are energized by the thought of taking back the White House. John?
NBC's Campbell Brown covering the Bush campaign. Campbell, thank you. Now to NBC's Chip Reed, who's with the Gore campaign in Michigan. Good evening, Chip.
Good evening, John. The states at the top of Al Gore's priority list right now are Florida, here in Michigan, and Pennsylvania, where he spent most of the last 24 hours. In Philadelphia this morning, Al Gore attended services at 2 black churches, urging a big turnout on Election Day.
There's an old African proverb that says, when you pray, move your feet. Tuesday is the day to move your feet.
With 23 electoral votes, the toss-up state of Pennsylvania is critical for Gore.
I can see it in your faces. I can feel it in your hearts. We're going to win Pennsylvania.
In a speech this afternoon in a Philadelphia park, his central argument was that his economic policies will continue the prosperity and spread it to those left behind.
You gave Bill Clinton and me a chance to change the economic policies of America, and we did. And now, Instead of the biggest deficits, we have the biggest surpluses.
Meanwhile, Gore's running mate, Joe Lieberman, was in the midst of a campaign marathon through New Mexico, Nevada, Oregon, and Washington.
So we hope that this last lap around America that we're taking, started in Florida, going to end up in Nashville, maybe some other surprise visits, will be, with your help and the good Lord's help, a victory lap that will take us to the White House.
Back in Philadelphia, Gore stopped at a diner for some old-fashioned retail politicking.
You think it looks good in Pennsylvania?
Oh, yeah. It's a shoe-in. Don't worry, sleep good.
But Gore will not be sleeping much, leaving Milwaukee tonight for 36 hours of nonstop campaigning starting Monday at 5:30 a.m. in Waterloo, Iowa, then to St. Louis, Missouri, Flint, Michigan, and 2 stops in the all-important state of Florida, Miami and Tampa, before heading home to Carthage, Tennessee, Tuesday morning to vote. Campaign aides say there's some extra time built into that schedule just in case they need to make some other stops along the way. John?
NBC's Chip Reed with the Gore campaign. Thanks. In the key battleground states, the MSNBC tracking poll has shown voter preferences changing almost daily. We want to take a look now at where the numbers stand in some of those key states with Election Day just 48 hours away. It's still a tight race in Pennsylvania, where Gore leads Bush 47 to 45%. In Florida, Gore over Bush by 3 points. A different story in Missouri, where Bush is up 49 to 45%. Bush is also ahead in Wisconsin, 47-45. In all 4 states, those numbers add up to a statistical dead heat. And complicating the Election Day math is the candidacy of Ralph Nader, the Green Party's presidential nominee. He spent this day in Washington, and NBC's Joe Johns joins us there with the Nader story. Good evening, Joe.
Good evening, John. Ralph Nader's candidacy continues to attract support from liberal Democrats who otherwise would be solidly committed to Vice President Gore. Thousands were in attendance today at a rally in Washington as Nader launched his latest attack on what he calls the structural power system, including the major party candidates.
The phony phrases of compassionate conservatism, the phony phrases of Al Gore when he says, "I'll fight for you, not for the powerful." It's time to go beyond that.
Some of the latest polling indicates that the Nader effect is strongest in 4 states, Oregon, Minnesota, Washington, and Pennsylvania, but that he could affect the outcome in at least 4 other states, Wisconsin, Florida, Tennessee, and Missouri. While Nader and Al Gore have similar positions on issues ranging from handguns to abortion to gay rights, Nader says his goal is to shake up both parties.
I would be disappointed if either Al Gore or George Bush were elected president on November 7th.
With no chance of winning the White House himself, what Nader says he wants is to get 5% of the vote nationwide to qualify the Green Party for millions of dollars in federal funds for the next presidential election. Meanwhile, progressive attempts to support both Nader and Gore have produced internet vote swapping strategies. Supporters in different states pledged to swap their votes so that Gore's strength is not diluted in critical areas and Nader still gets enough votes to qualify for federal funds. But the legality of vote swapping has been called into question. John?
NBC's Joe Johns in Washington. Joe, thank you. More politics a bit later, but coming up next, some of the day's other news. The search for a connection between pesticides and Parkinson's disease. And a consumer alert about computer scams.
Let's hear it for the lady. The one whose work is never done. Without you, none of us would even be here. Here's to you, Mom, from a car with the right stuff to get you through it all. Chevy Malibu, the car you depend on every day. Just like you, we'll be there.
The latest styles don't have to cost a fortune.
Right now at LensCrafters, you can find great-looking glasses for only $99.
Hundreds of the latest styles, frames, and lenses, all for only $99. Hurry, sale ends November 25th.
I've taken care of this garden from the very first seedling. We need each other. But when I got arthritis, I thought my gardening days were over. Then my doctor encouraged me to keep at it, because staying active helps keep joints from getting stiff. And to make it easier, he recommends Advil. Nothing's been proven stronger on arthritis pain, and it's gentle on my stomach. My doctor's right. Advil and gardening work beautifully.
Advil, stronger than pain.
To health news now, and the mystery of Parkinson's disease. New research released today offers some intriguing clues to one possible cause of this illness. Here's NBC's chief science correspondent, Robert Bazell.
Parkinson's disease is the disintegration of brain cells that leads to tremors and other movement problems in 1 million Americans, including Muhammad Ali, Michael J. Fox, and Janet Reno. Dr. Tim Greenemeyer and his team at Emory University studied rats, finding that long-term exposure to a very common pesticide called rotenone causes all the signs of Parkinson's.
The implication is that similar pesticides, possibly including rotenone, may do the same thing in humans, but we don't have any direct proof of that yet.
Rotenone is a so-called natural pesticide made from the roots of certain plants. It's used in hundreds of products to kill insects and unwanted fish. The idea that pesticides may cause Parkinson's is not a surprise. Previous studies have shown that people who live in rural areas where they might be exposed to more pesticides have a higher incidence of Parkinson's. To find out for certain whether rotenone or any other pesticide increases the risk of Parkinson's in people, researchers will have to do more large-scale population studies looking at that very question. But many scientists say today's finding, though not proof of human danger, is a major clue about the disease.
I think it's a very important link in the chain toward proving that some type of agent in the environment, whether it's a pesticide or something else, may be causing the majority of cases of Parkinson's disease.
Until now, no one knew much about the causes of Parkinson's, but the latest research may open a new understanding of the widespread and debilitating disease. Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
Now to the fight against fraud on the internet. Nearly 150 million Americans now have online access, and the con artists see them as tempting targets. Here's NBC's Nora O'Donnell.
Beverly Martin and Carla Siniskolki are victims of cyber scams. Each tried to purchase a bargain computer on the internet, and both wound up empty-handed.
Buying off the internet is a gamble. You can't send a money order or cash for some amount of money that you're not willing to lose.
The company they ordered from, called Computers by Us, just disappeared, along with their money.
It's kind of a black market atmosphere out there. Anybody can go on and sell anything on an auction, whether they're reputable or not, whether the product exists or not.
Experts say many of the scams are old tricks made new by the internet. Phony auctions, billings for services never received, get-rich-quick schemes, and work-at-home schemes. Online fraud is booming. Complaints are up 48% in 2 years. In response, federal regulators have announced a crackdown, new law enforcement actions, and a strong warning.
That there is a right way and a wrong way to solicit the public, and they must clean up their acts if they want to stay in business.
Experts advise online shoppers to ignore email solicitations, to use a credit card, not cash, and to remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Nora O'Donnell, NBC News, Washington.
From the Atlanta area tonight, word of an unusual raffle sponsored by gun control opponents. In Georgia, where people are given I voted stickers after casting their ballots, 2 gun shops are offering raffle tickets in exchange for the stickers, with the winner getting a 12-gauge shotgun. The sponsors say their goal is to increase voter turnout. When we continue, how campaign volunteers are trying to boost turnout in the toss-up state of Michigan.
Freezing chicken. Only new Ziploc double guard freezer bags have an inner layer that clings to seal out air that causes freezer burn. Regular freezer bags don't. Put an end to freezer burn with a new Ziploc double guard freezer bag. Freezing steak. Only new Ziploc double guard freezer bags have an inner layer that clings to seal out air that causes freezer burn. Regular freezer bags don't. Put an end to freezer burn with a new Ziploc double guard freezer bag.
Hello, America, how are you?
You know, when you eat good, you feel good.
Healthy Choice soups make it easy to feel good.
We're both feeling good.
And now they have a whole new taste that may surprise you. Healthy Choice, feel good food.
Curel delivers more moisture than Eucerin and Lubriderm. Dermatologist recommended, Curel heals dry skin better. Women who try it agree. You can see the cure in Curel.
We're Pfizer. We're working to create a world where there will be a cure for your father's Alzheimer's, your sister's heart condition, your best friend's diabetes, where no one needs suffer from cancer or AIDS. At the newly expanded Pfizer, we're poised to do more for human health than any other pharmaceutical company in history. We're spending approximately $4.5 billion on research this year alone, and have the world's largest pharmaceutical research team working tirelessly looking for the cures of the future. Why do we work so hard? Because we have fathers, sisters, and best friends too. At Pfizer, our company has changed, but our mission hasn't. Life is our life's work.
This week on Today, our special series on breast cancer. Did you know the disease acts differently in every woman? So what questions should you be asking? This week on Today.
In the battleground state of Michigan tonight, both the Gore and Bush camps are pulling out all the stops. 18 electoral votes are at stake there. NBC's Jonathan Alter joins us from Oakland County again tonight. Good evening, Jonathan.
Good evening, John. With Al Gore clinging to a slim lead here in most polls, the air war on TV is about to give way to a fierce battle on the ground.
The fundamental concept is what I like to refer to as knock and drag, which is knock on the door and drag them to the polls. Clearly on Election Day, we do not take no for an answer.
The political world calls it GOTV. Get out the vote.
Please urge all of your family and friends to get to the polls on Tuesday, November 7th, starting at 7 a.m., and vote for George W. Bush.
This year, the Republicans have a bigger than ever field operation in Michigan.
Come on, look, how you doing, big man?
With some help from 150 Texans who've come up to Oakland County.
People say, "You're from Texas," and I said, "Yes," and one guy said, "You came all the way to Michigan?"
The Democrats have plenty of help, too. The United Auto Workers recently negotiated a day off with pay on Tuesday to help turnout. And non-union volunteers were leafleting outside churches this morning.
We'll see you at the polls on Tuesday, right?
Yep. The voters are finally seeming to pay attention and make up their minds. At Kim Gebbe's 40th birthday party last night, guests talked of family members no longer on the fence.
I said, who are you going to vote for, Grandma? George W.
Oh, Kennedy.
Splits within families are common, too. Mary Spiegel is volunteering 70 hours a week for Gore. Her husband is for Bush.
Yeah. Yes, he's for Bush. But I give him credit. He has said to me, I have never said you're wrong.
What? So he hasn't tried to dissuade you?
No, and he says more power for you to go out and work because this is what you believe in.
As they watch the Lions-Dolphins game today at this barbecue restaurant in Royal Oak, Lou Lyons and her daughter Melissa discovered that mother was for Bush and daughter for Gore.
Basically, my decision was based on the moral issues that I feel that he's voiced his stand on.
I mean, you can say anything you want. Yeah. If you don't have a plan to back it up, how far is that going to take you?
At the bar, Debbie DeCall and Brian Harris have also made their decisions. But mostly they're just ready for the whole thing to be over.
I mean, I don't see anybody having to tell me on television who I have to vote for and what's bad about one person and what's good about another.
In a nutshell, you really don't know who to believe. Everybody backstabs everybody, and you don't know what's right or what's wrong.
The great unknown is that UAW day off, which is unprecedented. Will the workers vote and work precincts or go fishing? The outcome here may depend on the result. John?
NBC's Jonathan Alter in Michigan. Thank you. And coming up next, President Clinton in Arkansas for a little political payback.
Do you need a new car? Do you need to see the ocean? Is watching a sunset absolutely necessary? Avalon, the most spacious, most luxurious sedan we've ever created. Do you need a new car?
The
multi-state quarter program is one of the most unique programs our country has ever seen.
Each quarter is a miniature work of art.
If you want to collect them, the Mint has coin sets and maps to help you get started.
If we haven't gotten to your state yet, you can bet that it's coming.
The latest styles don't have to cost a fortune.
Right now at LensCrafters, you can find great-looking glasses for only $99.
Hundreds of the latest styles, frames, and lenses, all for only $99. Hurry, sale ends November 25th.
Welcome to NBCI.com. One site with everything you need. Need a vacation? How about two? NBCI.com and LoisFair.com want to send you and a guest home for the holidays. Hi, Mom. Are you married yet? And then there's trip number 2. So you get a vacation from your vacation. 5 nights in Aruba. So log on to NBCI.com for all your travel needs and register for your chance to win. NBCI.com. One site with everything you need.
This week, Paris, Rome, London, suddenly an affordable vacation. Just how far can your dollar go? The smart money. NBC Nightly News this week.
President Clinton campaigned for Democrats in Arkansas today and paid special attention to the congressional race in the district where he was born. An explanation from NBC's John Palmer.
Mr. Clinton came home to Arkansas to help his vice president in a very tight battle for the state's 6 electoral votes and to lend a hand in an equally close congressional race. At a Get Out the Vote rally, Mr. Clinton argued that the national race is so tight that Arkansas could make the difference in electing Al Gore president.
You want to vote for somebody who is experienced and solid and proven, who will work hard, who knows a lot, who understands the future. You just have one choice.
Later, the president traveled to Pine Bluff, appearing with State Senator Mike Ross, running for Congress from Mr. Clinton's home district. 20 years ago, Ross served as a volunteer driver as Mr. Clinton crisscrossed the state in his race for governor.
If you want Mike Ross to win badly enough, there's enough people right here to win this race for him.
Ross's opponent, Republican Congressman Jay Dickey, says Mr. Clinton is out for revenge because of Dickey's vote to impeach the president last year. Dickey says he hopes to blunt that effort by sticking to issues like his opposition to gun control.
Of all the freedoms that we have to protect, this is the greatest one.
The White House says any idea that the president is seeking revenge against those who voted for his impeachment is laughable, saying Mr. Clinton is just trying to win races that are winnable. John Palmer, NBC News, with the president in Arkansas.
And when NBC Nightly News continues, the 2 political marathon men in the race of their lives.
I see lots of people with allergies, but the ones with multi-symptom nasal allergies, they're suffering from it all. The sneezing, itchy, runny nose, the nasal congestion. For that kind of allergy, I prescribe multi-symptom Flonase.
Flonase nasal spray once a day relieves nasal allergy symptoms all day and night.
All it takes is Flonase.
The #1 prescribed nasal allergy spray. Even kids as young as 4 can use Flonase. For best results, use daily. If side effects occur, they are generally mild and may include headache, nosebleed, or sore throat. Call to learn more. Ask your doctor about multi-symptom Flonase.
When you get it all it takes is Flonase.
We're taking a fresh approach with food, and it's really all about well-being.
At my restaurant, we use FIT, a fruit and vegetable wash that removes residues like dirt and wax. Broccoli is the green it should be. Produce tastes fantastic.
Have you seen my tomatoes?
I can even use the skin where the good stuff is. Hey, if it gets my customers to eat all their veggies, even better.
Look for FIT in the produce or dish liquids aisle or being used in your favorite restaurants.
Great place. I like your neighborhood.
Thanks.
Oh,
Sorry.
Time to buy a Galant. 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for an entire year on our best-selling Mitsubishis. Hurry, this deal ends soon.
Dateline Sunday, a hidden camera investigation. Dangerous drivers, putting your life at risk. How do they stay on the road? Some say traffic school's the answer. But what do they get out of this crash course? Find out how high-risk drivers may get right back behind the wheel without learning a thing on an all-new Dateline tonight.
The Complete Election, Decision 2000, Tuesday on NBC.
I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got the string around my finger.
For Al Gore and George W. Bush, the campaign for president started back in June of 1999 when both men officially became candidates. It's been a long road with many twists and turns.
And that is why today I announce that I am a candidate for President of the United States.
I'm running for President of the United States. There's no turning back, and I intend to be the next President of the United States.
They've been at it for 16 months, through winter snows and summer heat, America's political marathon. Gore was undefeated in the primaries.
They don't call it Super Tuesday for nothing.
Bush stumbled in the early going, but managed to come from behind.
Laura and I are honored and humbled by the huge victory we had here in South Carolina.
This summer, each celebrated his greatest political achievement so far.
I proudly accept your nomination.
I accept your nomination for President of the United States of America.
Since June of '99, they've been campaigning day and night, logging hundreds of thousands of miles in a variety of ways. There have been some traditional campaign moments, and there have been some biting moments.
My only hope is I don't chew with my mouth open and my mother will be mad at me.
Some awkward moments.
No, this is Al Gore. No, it really is. No, I'm not joking.
Some TV moments.
This is more scary.
Let me show you how much clout you have.
Judge, would you like a muffin here?
Some sentences which came out wrong.
If you're a single mother with 2 children, which is the toughest job in America as far as I'm concerned, and you're working hard to put food on your family.
Look, I am happy to be in Allentown and to see all of you here. What'd you say? I'm happy to be in Fountain Hill before I...
Albert Arnold Gore and George Walker Bush, now closing in on the finish line. And with the nation's voting booths moving into place, Americans will soon get to decide who finishes first.
And we invite you to join us election night beginning at 5 Eastern on MSNBC on cable and at 7 Eastern on this NBC station where Tom Brokaw will lead the coverage all night long. That is NBC Nightly News for this Sunday. Now here's Stone Phillips with a preview of tonight's edition of Dateline.
Thanks, John. Coming up tonight on Dateline Sunday, we're off to traffic school. That's the place that's supposed to reform dangerous drivers and teach them how to drive safely. We took our hidden cameras along to see if they're all up to the job. Some weren't. One place sold us a traffic school completion certificate, even though we didn't even take the class.
Do you not think that by selling these certificates, rather than requiring people to sit through the 6 hours of instruction, you're potentially letting dangerous drivers back out on the road?
See what he had to say for himself on a Dateline hidden camera investigation tonight at 7, 6 Central. John?
Thanks, Stone. Tom Brokaw will be here tomorrow. I'm John Siegenthaler in New York. And for all of us here at NBC News, good night.